My parents told my sister she wasn't allowed to speak at her own graduation party. Now half our family won't talk to us. My older sister is graduating as valedictorian to a university across the country that my parents couldn't name if you paid them. My older brother is also a success in his own way. Only a junior in high school and still starting quarterback with honor roll. But somehow he's the only golden child, the one my parents built their entire world around. I'm just the one who sits at the dinner table while conversations happen around me like I'm not even there. But the thing about being invisible is that you see everything. And I've been keeping track of everything I've seen. The graduation party was supposed to be for my sister. That's what the invitation said. But when I walked into our backyard that afternoon, I counted 18 of my brother's friends from the football team, and exactly 2 of my sister's friends. My mom had hung a banner that said, "Congratulations, graduate," but right next to it was a poster board covered in my brother's football stats from last season. I watched my sister notice it. I watched her face go completely blank for 2 seconds before she forced a smile. She's been doing that my entire life. A little bit later, my dad pulled her aside near the grill. I was grabbing napkins from the kitchen, but I could hear every word through the screen door. He told her, "If you want to say anything, like a speech or whatever, you should keep it short. Don't forget that most people are only really here to celebrate your brother. He has some exciting news to share." My sister just said, "Okay." An hour into the party, my brother stood up on the patio and clinked his glass. The whole backyard went quiet. He announced he'd committed to state on a full athletic scholarship for football. My mom screamed, actually screamed like he'd won the lottery. My aunt started crying happy tears. People rushed over to hug him and shake his hand. I looked across the yard at my sister. She was standing alone near the dessert table in the dress she'd bought specifically for today. Her boyfriend was holding her hand, and I could see his knuckles turning white from squeezing so hard. Her other hand was shaking so badly she had to set down her cup. Then my mom walked right past her on the way to hug my brother. She patted my sister on the shoulder without even stopping and said loud enough for everyone nearby to hear, "See, honey, this is what we mean when we talk about making us proud." She laughed when she said it, like it was just a little joke. My sister didn't respond. Her boyfriend leaned in and whispered something in her ear. She shook her head no. He whispered again. She closed her eyes for 3 full seconds. When she opened them, something behind them had changed. My sister picked up a fork and tapped it against her glass. The sound cut through all the noise like a knife. Everyone in that backyard turned to look at her. My dad's smile froze on his face. My mom tilted her head like she couldn't understand what she was seeing. My sister cleared her throat and said she wanted to thank her boyfriend's parents for being here today, for treating her like their own daughter for the past 3 years, for remembering her birthday last month when nobody in her own family did. The backyard went dead silent. My uncle stopped chewing mid-bite. She kept going. She thanked herself for working 2 jobs during high school so she could afford her own prom dress, while our brother got a $300 varsity jacket because it would look good on him. She thanked herself for tutoring our brother through freshman algebra so he wouldn't get benched, and for never once mentioning it because she knew it would embarrass him. She thanked herself for giving up her bedroom when her brother wanted more space for his weight equipment, and for sleeping on a twin mattress in the basement for 4 years without ever complaining. Her voice never shook, not once. My dad was gripping his beer bottle so tight I thought it might shatter. My mom stood up from her chair and let out this nervous laugh. "Honey," she said, "this really isn't the time for your little feelings." My sister didn't even glance at her. She said she wanted everyone here to know that she was moving across the country next week. She already had an apartment lined up. She already had a job waiting for her at a research lab. She would not be coming home for Thanksgiving. She would not be coming home for Christmas. Then she reached into her purse and pulled out her set of keys to our family's car. She walked straight over to my mom and pressed them into her palm. She said she wouldn't be needing these anymore because her boyfriend's parents helped her buy her own car last month. She'd been planning this for 6 months and nobody in this family even noticed. My mom looked down at those keys like they were something dead. My brother was the one who finally broke the silence. He asked, "Why do you always have to be so dramatic?" My sister turned and looked at him and said, "You'll understand when you're the second choice." I couldn't stand in that backyard for one more second pretending I hadn't witnessed the favoritism secondhand. So I didn't stay. I grabbed my sister's hand and offered to treat her to dinner for a real celebration. Then we left.